this afternoon. So, all right, there we go. Sorry, guys, out in Opus world. Apparently, my limit now is 20 minutes on my platform. It kicked us off again. It did that last week to me. And it apparently decided to do it again this week. So we were talking about tracking your applicants, and for a company that's hiring, this is crucial, right? Like, this is what's going to determine if a great candidate slips through your fingers or not. If you're not giving them an idea and they're looking to leave their current position, or they're really looking to get hired somewhere, because I was there last year. I needed a job, and I talked to a lot of companies and walked through a lot of things, and there was several that the process just took too long. I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't know where I stood or what was next. And it was essentially just randomly I would get an email and it would be like, hey, by the way, we need you to hop on a call next week, and it'd been 3 weeks since I heard from somebody. And jobs that I really wanted. I felt like I was constantly having to hound the recruiters to find out, what was next. So really setting yourself up as a hiring manager or a recruiter, as a business that's hiring, really setting yourself up for success and to get that right candidate. Because if you are living in chaos, and I'm guilty of it, very early on in management when I started, and I won't date myself and tell you how long ago, but when I started hiring vet techs and hiring my customer service representatives at my front desk at the clinic that I was working in, I was looking for the right people, but I had a horrible system to manage where everybody was at in the process. And I would have people call me and be like, hey, I hadn't heard back from you. I thought the interview went really well, and things like that. And so keeping track of that, we were talking about the SharePoint system and how well it tracks. So you are able to look at where anyone is in the process on the SharePoint site, right? So you can essentially filter your list and look for anybody that maybe they're waiting on their HR interview. Maybe they are, we're waiting on a background check. We're waiting on, we've decided to hire, and we're waiting on them to fill out their onboarding information. So you're able to track all of that at one quick glance, and be able to automate some things, right? So once we've hired somebody, we finally have found the right fit. We've asked all the questions. They've come in, had an amazing interview, and we're ready to make an offer to that candidate. That onboarding process, what does that look like? Do you have it set out, and do they have a plan set up for, hey, here's your first day, and getting really clear? Opus was the first company that I walked into, and there was a very clear plan from day one. So TJ had it set up. I logged in. I logged into SharePoint. I got on the onboarding, pre-onboarding, did all of my information before my start date, had that all squared away, knew what my start date was, and was ready to go live, July 1st. When I got onboarded, and I got in the system, I got an email with all of my accesses. I had my IT equipment was shipped to me and ready for me to start day one. And I logged into my SharePoint site, and bam, I've got a welcome video from our CEO welcoming me to Opus, setting out just, what our vision was. So now I've already got the brand. And then what, my first week was going to look like. What were the things that we were going to do? What were the things, who was I going to meet? Who was I going to talk with? All of that was set out for me. And it really solidified my decision in picking Opus, and this being where I wanted to come work. So having that, then being able to track my being able to look at my planner. So I had a planner in Teams that I could go to every day, and it had my due dates in it for any of my trainings. So I had to learn all kinds of new stuff, guys. Like, I had no idea about so much stuff in the technology field, and I still have a lot to learn, but I've learned some amazing things, and I had a great setup. So it gave me, videos to look at. It had the links where, my trainings were, which trainings were due, when they were expected to be done by. So, I had all my due dates in there. I could look ahead and get ahead. So amongst that, when I walked in, I was like, hey, I'm already set to go on vacation this week. And so, I had my entire training plan. I was able to get ahead, put in that time that I needed to stay on track, to get my training done, so that I was going to be a valuable member to the team as soon as possible. I really set myself, not only was I ready when I walked in the door, but my boss had set me up for success. He gave me the tools that I needed, the places to go to learn the things that I was going to have to learn to do this new role. This is something that was not even remotely in my comfort zone, not at all. And I will forever be grateful for my great onboarding process. It's something that I think we need to do a better job as hiring managers to do. So I'm looking forward to when it's my turn to start doing interviews and looking for, another person for my team here at Opus. I'm looking forward to being able to set them up with a plan, and they know where to go, and they have the tools that they need to be successful. Because to me, all that does is it builds your engagement, and it builds your loyalty, your staff's loyalty. So keeping that record, having access to it. Not only did I have access to it on SharePoint, I had access to it on my Microsoft Teams. So I could take it everywhere with me. Like, I was doing trainings on my iPad, which made it super nice. So we've got some tools that work really well. There's a ton of options as far as, interviewing goes that you can find. If you just go looking, there's lots of sample questions out there. And I think that, you want to be prepared for it when you walk into an interview. And, as an interviewer, you want to be prepared for your interviewee. So, not looking at their resume like the 30 seconds before they come in there. Give yourself time. When I first started interviewing, it was, I wanted to pack them all in there, and we just bam, 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 and I did a whole bunch of interviews, and I do like 30-minute blocks. Well, then I'd find somebody, really great and amazing, and I'd run over, and then it'd back me up, and then I'd be like 5 minutes before, just looking at somebody's resume as they walked in. Having a plan and being prepared for that is really big. If you are the applicant and you are working on getting a job, do your research. Look at Glassdoor. I have shocked more than one person when I've walked in and said, hey, this is what I've noticed when I was looking on Glassdoor from your past employees. Like, what can you tell me that you've done around XYZ? What about my resume or this interview gives you cause to think I wouldn't be a good fit for this position? So really think about the questions that you're asking if you have applied and you are interviewing. I think that, one, you can get more information to make sure that the company you're interviewing with is a good fit. We don't always do that. I think sometimes, just like in hiring, we get, oh my gosh, I've got to have something, and we take the first job that comes along. I did it when I was like 24. I took the first job that got offered to me, and the next day I got another call for the job that I should have taken, which bad me, I probably should have switched what I did, but young, a little bit dumb, decided to go the first route and not the second route, but I didn't do my due diligence in finding out about the company I went to work for, and it ultimately turned into me leaving at 90 days. I've done that twice in my life, not planning on doing it again, but if you take some time and really think about, really think about the things that you want to know, what's important to you, and have an idea and ask those questions around it. It can make a big difference on where you end up. I don't know that not many of us want to just keep job hopping. If your time off and your work-life balance is really important. Ask some questions around that when you go to interview. Be mindful of that, and be mindful of the what you see on social media, right? That can, and what you put out there can, it shouldn't, it can sway a company. I have done that a time or two where I have looked up applicants' social medias. I have looked up some applicants' social medias just to see what they're posting, especially if you're public. So there's so much information at your fingertips nowadays. You should be prepared and be ready. Know what you want and know what you're looking for. So I hope that you guys found some value in today. I know we were later than usual, so typically y'all can find me on Wednesdays, 11:30 Central. We do Water Cooler Wednesdays. This month we're going to be talking and continuing our talk around people, and which will probably lead us into culture. But we're going to continue to talk about some of those things and some of the tools that we have access to here at Opus and can help you with around your people, around your culture, around your brand. We're going to continue talking about that every Wednesday at 11:30. If there's something you guys want to talk about, I am more than happy to. I'm all ears. So we'd love to have you follow us on, either our YouTube channel, our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We're on all of those. Shoot us a message, shoot us a note. Let me know what you guys would like to talk about here, and I'm 100% down to do it. And I look forward to talking to everybody next week. Again, my name is Kayla Rowe. I am the Client Account Consultant at Opus Management. You can find us on our website if you want some more information, opusmanagement.us. We also have, as I close myself out, we also have our marketing and social media it is opusmanagementdesign.com. So if you would like some help with branding or social media, go check it out there. There are some links to pop on and get a discovery call set up so that either myself or TJ can get some more information from you. But everyone have a wonderful Wednesday. We will talk to y'all next week. And I look